John Wayne was beloved by audiences, but behind the scenes, he had a reputation for being unapproachable, stubborn, and hard to work with. And Wayne didn't hesitate to express his dislike for particular actors, some of whom may surprise you. John Wayne and Clark Gable never shared the screen, yet some pretty nasty comments have since gone on the record about how much Wayne detested the debonair leading man. In her memoir, John Wayne, My Father, Wayne's daughter Aissa recalls his disdain for Gable. She quotes her father from memory, writing, "He's extremely handsome in person, but he's an idiot. You know why he's an actor? It's the only thing he's smart enough to do." That's some harsh criticism coming from a guy who started out as a prop man.
Sorry, no silver cups.
Aissa believes her father's frustration with Gable came from Gable's on-set feud with frequent Wayne collaborator John Ford on the set of 1953's Magambo. Ford's abrasive, cut-and-dry style was often too much for Gable, who at one point stormed off set in a fit of anger. Though the film became a box office smash, Gable and Ford's relationship remained rocky in the following years. Wayne, with whom Ford had a strong camaraderie after several projects together, knew which side he was on. His daughter writes, "In my father's way of thinking, disloyalty to allies was expressly forbidden. If Clark Gable took on John Ford, my father's code demanded that John Wayne stand by his old pal."
I don't think you understand, Major. The war is over.
No, sir.
Out of every controversial thing Wayne has said about a fellow actor, this call-out might just be the strangest and most random. During the Duke's second late-stage career peak, Hackman had just burst onto the scene with Bonnie and Clyde, earning widespread acclaim and an Oscar nomination for his performance, but it appears that Wayne was never impressed. Wayne's daughter writes, "Hackman could never appear on screen without my father skewering his performance. My father called Hackman the worst actor in town." Aissa isn't sure where the animosity came from, since there's no record of Wayne ever meeting Hackman in the first place. This is especially sad because the hate doesn't go both ways. In an interview with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Hackman called Wayne, quote, "one of the best actors ever." He went on to say, "I could never be the man he was, because his politics and mine would be incompatible. But you must admire how really good he was as an actor, in command of the scene and with such great charisma." It's unclear if Hackman ever heard Wayne's disparaging comments. Though reports vary about John Wayne's on-set behavior, nobody can deny that he had high standards or that his temper flared when they weren't met. If Wayne didn't reprimand you in front of the cameras, he could badmouth you behind them. This was the case for Kim Darby, Wayne's co-star in the 1969 adaptation of True Grit. Darby played Maddie Ross to Wayne's Rooster Cogburn, a relationship that lent itself to contention.
You gotta learn that you can't have everything your own way.
When I bought and paid for something, I'll have it my way.
Things got off on the wrong foot before Wayne even stepped on set. According to Michael Munn's biography, John Wayne, the man behind the myth, Wayne originally promised the role of Maddie to his daughter Aissa. However, director Henry Hathaway had already cast Darby, forcing Wayne to take back his promise and leave his daughter shattered. Things only got worse when Darby and Wayne started working together. According to Munn, Wayne said, "Darby was strong-willed, independent, and determined. That's great for the character, but not so great for an actor." Despite Wayne's best efforts, Darby was aloof toward him throughout the shoot, likely due to her marital difficulties at the time and being forced to care for her newborn child while on set. To Wayne, this made her come off as self-righteous, spoiled, and unprofessional, or as he put it, "I like me and my screen partners to get along. Jesus, I got along better with Kirk Douglas." Wayne's conservative politics made him an outspoken patriot, especially during wartime. When World War II came around, he wanted to serve alongside many other leading actors of the time. However, his family, a wife and 4 children, and age prevented him from enlisting despite his best efforts. Instead, he found other ways to contribute to the war effort, including on the big screen. During the Vietnam War, Wayne robustly supported the United States' fight against communism, having previously supported Joe McCarthy and his Un-American Activities Committee. On the other end of the spectrum, Jane Fonda grew up watching her father, Henry Fonda, oppose Wayne's view of communism and grew up to fiercely oppose America's fight in Vietnam.
You know, it's funny, suddenly, I felt more than I ever had American.
A 1972 photo shoot with an anti-aircraft gun in Hanoi turned her into a 70s counterculture icon, which outraged many conservatives, including Wayne. He's quoted in Scott Iman's biography, John Wayne, The Life and Legend, as saying, "I would think somebody like Jane Fonda would be terribly ashamed and saddened that they were part of causing us to stop helping the South Vietnamese. They're getting killed by the millions. How the hell can she and her husband sleep at night?"
Are you typical of Earth women?
I'm about average.
Fonda has continued to be outspoken in her political beliefs to this day. You would think two icons of the American Western would naturally get along. However, Wayne never took a liking to Clint Eastwood, nor the spaghetti westerns that made him a star. Wayne made a career off of playing valiant heroes. Even the washed-up characters in his later films had codes of honor. Eastwood, on the other hand, often portrayed anti-heroes, driven by their own selfishness with little care for law and order. Wayne and Eastwood's careers often intersected, but somehow Wayne always lagged behind. He turned down the lead role in Dirty Harry, leaving Eastwood to scoop it up and become a bona fide movie star. When Wayne attempted to replicate that film's success with his own cop film McQ, it performed poorly at the box office. Things came to a head when Eastwood sent Wayne the script for High Plains Drifter. Both parties were interested in working together. However, according to film historian Mary Lee Bandy's book, Ride Boldly Ride: The Evolution of the American Western, Wayne sent Eastwood a letter criticizing his script, saying, "It did not represent the true spirit of the American pioneer, the spirit that had made America great." Eastwood wasn't bothered, saying, "I realized that there's two different generations, and he didn't understand what I was doing."